Thanks, guys. In 2008, when Cipla's Miles for Smiles Foundation issued its next coastal challenge to run a smile around the tip of Africa, extreme athletes David and Braam couldn't resist. Now, David, you're a sucker for either punishment or a sucker for significance. Which is it?
I don't know. I think it's more punishment. Yeah, what these journeys do to one.
Well, you've been hectically significant. I mean, this particular journey raised 2 million rand for Miles for Smiles.
Yeah, it was, you know, the nice thing about these journeys were put out and these challenges by this Miles for Smiles Foundation was to inspire South Africans to get involved. And that's what they did. Everyone got involved with this journey around our country.
Now, in 80 days, you covered almost 3,500 kilometers from Oranjemund all the way to Ponto, but a third of the way in, you hit Robben Island. Now, that was a significant moment, wasn't it?
It was. It probably one of the highlights of all my journeys. And, you know, what I'd just been through in China, I realized as an individual, I had to evolve, I had to change. And we were given permission to go to Robben Island, and on Nelson Mandela's 90th birthday, on the 18th of July 2008, we ran out of his prison cell and did a joint 90 kilometers around and around Robben Island in honor of this great man. You know, while I was running, I thought, as a country, we've been through so much change, as a family, as an individual, as a corporation. And you ask yourself, why change? What are the rewards? And that island made me realize that the rewards are hope, that the future will hold something better. Otherwise, why change? And the seeds of hope for this country, that's where they were planted on that island, and they flourished from there. And you know, what a man to walk out of that prison cell with no remorse, no hate, no revenge, just inspiration and wisdom.
And grace.
And grace, yeah.
And you've called this journey Hope in Time, which is such an apt description. And the journey's given hope to little Zama. What's the story about little Zama?
Yeah, I had the fortune of, when we came through the Transkei, to join up with one of the Operation Smile surgical missions. And there was this little girl, Zama, 6 years old. And Zama and Groza means to basically keep trying. And 5 times she'd fallen through the cracks in the health system, and she couldn't get help she had a bilateral double cleft. Sure. And I walked her into theatre, and I spent the hour and a half with her in theatre. And I walked back out with the anaesthetist, and she looked down at this child, and she'd seen this grotesque little face when she handed her over. And she looked down, and all she said in Groza was, "Buhle," which means you're beautiful. And I saw that parental bond between a mother and a child rekindled. And, you know, that's what does it for me.
David, I'm scared to ask this because, you know, what are you going to come up with next? But what's the next big challenge for David Grier?
Yeah, my next challenge, I'm starting right up in the northern tip of India in Kashmir at a temple just past Srinagar at 4,500 meters up. And then I'll be journeying for 5 months down to the most southern tip. And there's a temple about 1 kilometer offshore in the sea. So then I'll swim the last K to the most southern temple. And, you know, I think in life we all look for a bit of spirituality. And my journeys, because, you know, the realization, it's not about me, it's not about the journey, it's about what comes out of it. And it's a part of life we all search and look at. And so I'm looking forward to this Indian trip. I don't know. And I was thinking of spices, tea, and philosophy. I think that's what I come out with that.
Well, we can't wait for it. 3 books down, another one coming, and more adventures, no doubt, and more to follow, I'm sure. So follow David as he trains for his next mammoth adventure, the Cipla Miles for Smiles India Challenge, a 5,000-kilometer run, as you heard, from the north to the south of India, starting November this year. David certainly is a modern-day hero, helping children around the world live their very best life. David, thank you so very, very much. Back to you guys in the studio.
Cipla will make it better.
Well, the seasons are changing right now, and that means that pollen levels are increasing. We take a look at your pollen contributors this morning. Now, most of the country is on a medium pollen level today, and taking a look at the highest levels of pollen, you'll find those indicated in red, and that's in the Gauteng and also the center of the Free State region. You'll find some red levels also in KwaZulu-Natal, on the east coast and far north, as well as the Western Cape region. Now, remember, in those red areas, to keep your antihistamines ready. Now, Katlego was a delegate for the One Young World Global Summit. Next up, he chats to co-founder Kate Robertson.
Cipla will make it better.
Stay with eXpresso and SABC3.